Mark Jones joins us. Things are getting a little bit busier. A few at the trials yesterday, Mark. We'll start with them. Stylish Memphis, I thought she was great, and Plutonium Lady wasn't far behind her in the main trial yesterday. They went very quick, went 3:12. You pleased with them?
Yeah, they both came through the run good. They both probably needed it, especially Plutonium Lady. She'll look to race next week. She's pretty big in condition, but a bit of a shock to go to the trials and go 3:12 from a stand. But they've done it nice and they weren't pressured too much. So they come through it good was the main thing, and they'll be ready by next week anyway.
Yeah, it was a bit surprising to see them going 3:12. I think one or two might have to have a look, but never mind. This is the way it goes. Majestic Lavros went round two. He watched the tape today. Gee, he tried good. You must be really pleased with him.
Yeah, quite happy with him this time in. As I've said in the past, he's always been too fat, and probably this time in it's the trimmest he's ever been. And he's done a bit of time on the water walker at Stephen Boyd's, and we just got him a bit lighter, and he's definitely a lot fitter. So his trial yesterday was good. I'm sure that'll improve him, and there's a premier race next for him next week, and hopefully gets off the front in that. And as I said, he is a pretty nice trotter. He's come up quite good, so he should do a good job this time in too.
Did you put him in the noms for the Dominion?
We threw one in. Just you don't know what happens between there and then, and these things where you got to pay a long way out. It's a bit tough going, and you got to ask the owners for money. But it's probably cheaper to do it now than pay the late payment. And I don't think there's a lot of depth to the good trotters like Sunday Sun's the benchmark, and the rest are probably much of a much. And he's probably on the way up, and he deserves his chance if he keeps improving. But he's got to go a long way, and he's got to improve a hell of a lot. But I'm sure he's capable of getting halfway there at least.
Okay, really good. 3 runners tomorrow night, Addington. That's your lot for the weekend. Kicking off on the first, Sue Princess in a 1980 metre mobile for the junior drivers. Sarah O'Reilly back on. She knows it well. What are you expecting? I thought her run last week was pretty good, really.
Yeah, she went good last week, and we only had to go Sarah. It's not a juniors race, just Sam got suspended last week. So Sarah's won on the horse in the past and gets on good with it. So as you said, it's always hard off the unruly, and Purdon's one drawn handy, and a bit of old campaigners that can get off the gate good, drawing the front row. But she seems good, and she's racing good, and she does things right. She's a top 3 player.
You're going to have to drive a couple this week with Sam being suspended. She'll have to do the gearing up this week and the washing down. La Rosa race 2, second line draw, but I'm not too fussed about that in a maiden race. Are you not perturbed about it yourself?
No, it's just really a starting point, isn't it? Like, you'd always like to draw good, but it's only a maiden race, and for the back rows, just hard enough. But she's a nice filly, and just decided to race her this week. She's pretty fat last week, and she needs a bit of racing. So had a few wee hiccups during the week with her, but she'll turn up good tomorrow night. And on ability, she's going to be very hard to beat in that.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I think it's a race that stacks up nicely for her, and I do like the draw. On to the 8th, Burnham Boy, his run down south, I thought was another really good run. He's a great wee tradesman, isn't he? And not a good draw this week, so you're going to have to do a little bit from there to beat a handy field. I see he's come up, I think even favourite on fixed odds, which surprised me.
Yeah, it's pretty hard from outside the back row, and some nice horses. And in this grade, the 1980, they just run, and it's pretty hard to get into it. So, he had his chance down south, and we've just had a few wee feet problems with him, and his feet still aren't 100%, but they're getting better. So he's a fat wee fella, and he just needs a bit of racing. So it's going to be hard from the draw, but if he gets a card into it, he can do a bit of work. He's got to be a chance, but as I said, it's going to be very hard from the outside the back row. But he's the type of horse that you'd love Tony, you'd love to go to war with, because he always turns up and he does his best for you. So I'm sure he won't disappoint us again.
Okay. You scratched impressive first up one, and Don't Lie to Me in the last. Everything okay there?
Yeah, we took a blood off her after before she worked on Wednesday, and the blood results come back today, not 100%. So we had to scratch her, which is a bit frustrating. So hopefully we find a race for her next week, and had to scratch Orlando Magic. We had a bit of a mishap round home, which wasn't really the horse's fault. So she'll probably have to miss a couple of weeks, but we're quite happy with her, but she'll keep.
Okay, very good. Well, we're winding into the season. It's about to get interesting. Stylish Memphis, of course, back in the Neville and Plutonium Lady, etc. So some good racing coming up, isn't there?
Yeah, Premier meeting next week, so all the good ones will be out, and it's good in this weather, and it's good to get our main ones out. So just hopefully we can find the right races for them. But we've got Neville for the fillies, and as you said, let Ross can go through the grades. So, be looking forward to the next month or so.
Do we see the cup winner at the trials yesterday? Is it self-assured if he goes away?
Yeah, I think either one of those two will win it just on their ability. I think they showed they're a class above what else is around. Self-assured's got to go away, but I'm sure he will on the big day. And, Spankin's probably the forgotten horse. He's won a Miracle Mile and that he's a very, very good horse. So I think it's between those two, like the rest. I'm saying that Copy That's probably as good as them. So I think it's between those three. But, yeah, it probably comes down the runs, but it's definitely out of those three.
Looking forward to the Spring Cup, actually, this week at Auckland. That's going to be a good race to get a further line on Copy That, isn't it?
Yeah, he's been nothing more than impressive, really, like to do what he done last week. And, the way Morris is driving and teaching him to be a racehorse. And, he's not knocking him round and he's running times, doing it both ends. He's an extremely serious horse. So it'll be good to get him down here in a couple of weeks to clash with the Purdon Rasmussen runners. So just that time of year, it's quite exciting. And with the fillies races still to come and the 2-year-olds and sales series and that, it's a pretty good time of year, especially in this warm climate.
Absolutely. Excellent work, Mark. Well, good luck this weekend.
Yep, we'll do our best. Cheers.
Thanks a lot.